afternoon. I thought I would try to make this little recording to help show you how to make a Google drawing to show how to set up your plates. So, if you can see, we're going to start with making circles to represent the Petri dishes. Along the top, we have all these different things we can do, and right here there is a shapes icon. If we click on that, you will see you have these different options. We're going to go to the shapes themselves, and we're going to go to the circle. Click on the circle and make yourself one Petri dish. Once you make one, we can then actually make exact copies by simply clicking on it, pressing Command C to copy, and Command V to paste. And I'm sorry, for you guys it's Control V, not Command V. So then we're going to click and drag these so that they're next to each other, and now they're all exactly the same size, so nothing will look funky. Now we're going to actually make the lines to cut it into quadrants, and so we go along the top again, and we see this line icon. I'm going to click on the line icon, and once I do that, it kind of gives me all these different places I can start. So I'm going to click near the purple on the top, and see how it connects to that? And as I get close to the one on the bottom, it will help me make a perfect line. And I will do the same thing horizontally. And then I'm going to repeat for my other two. All right, and so now we have 3 Petri dishes, and now we need to label them. Most of you were doing option number 2, which means that each plate represented one of your independent variables. So up here again, we're going to choose the text box. So we click on the text box, and I click anywhere, and I get this big huge text box, which I won't need. I'm going to put in the name of my plate, which is going to be Pine Sol. And then I'm going to make this huge box much smaller by clicking and dragging from the edges. Okay? So whenever you're trying to change the shape of something, you got to go to the edges and see how the arrow changes. In this way, we could change it. To move this, we want it to be like this. We want it to have the arrows pointing all directions. Then if I click on it and move it, it moves it and helps me align it wherever I want to put it. Okay. Now again, to make our lives easy, it's actually, I find, easier to copy and paste one text box over and over again than it is to make the text box. So I'm going to click on my text box. I'm going to say Control C to copy and Control V to paste. And then I'm just going to edit. So this is going to be Lemon Pine Sol. Okay. And then I'm again going to say, I'm going to click out of it and then click in it. And then Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Oops, that did not work. I'm just going to undo. Okay. So again, we just got to click on it the right way. It's got to be there. Now I say Control C, Control V. Now it copied the whole thing. Okay. You really want it to have those arrows pointing all directions before you copy. And then this is going to be my lavender Pine Sol. You see how my R went down here? I don't want that, but that's because my text box is too small now. So I'm just going to drag it out a little bit, and now it's all together. And then if I want to, again, as long as I have my arrows looking like this, I can move it up. Okay, I'm going to move this one up too. But again, I need to be with the arrows before it will do it the way I want. Okay? All right. So now we're going to make the trials labels. And again, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to say Control C, and then Control V. And I'm going to move this up here so you can see. So this is my extra. I'm going to change the name to Trial 1. Okay? And yes, this could be a little smaller then. There we go. And then there's another cool thing you can do with these. You see this up here? This allows you to rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it now to help me out with placing it on. And then you see again, I can move it as long as I have my arrows in all directions like that. So I'm going to move it. This will be my trial 1. And if I want, I can turn it some more. Okay. And then I can move it up a little. And then that's perfect. And then I'm going to make my life easy. I'm going to Control C, Control V, and see how it even has it exactly the same way. So I'm going to move it over here. And then I'm going to say Control C, Control V. I'm going to drag it over here. Okay. All right. So now that I have my trial 1s done, I have to do my trial 2s, my trial 3s, and my trial 4. And my control group. So again, I'm just going to take one of these. I'm going to click on it, Control C, Control V. I'm going to drag it up here so you can see what I'm doing again. And if you can't get in there, just got to double click inside, and that brings you a cursor if you were having trouble with that. All right, so trial 2 is going to go the other way. And I can finish fixing it once it's there and I know my exact angle. So I'm going to drag it over. And okay, I want to move it a little bit more. So to move, remember, you got to be up here. There you go. And then if I want to move the whole thing up, I can just do that. And I might actually move it this way a little. There we go. And then again, to make my life easy, I can click on it, say Control C, Control V, and I'm going to say Control V one more time so that I make 2 copies. I'm just going to drag those where I want them. And see how it brought me in? So I got to click again so that it's just the whole thing. And then I need my arrows. Come on, arrows. There they are. And now I can move it. Okay. And then I'm going to do trial 3. But you know what? I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to click on it and say Control C, Control V. All I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this sucker down. And then I'm going to double click inside and change it to 3. Okay, and then I'm going to Control C, Control V twice. And drag it over to the other ones. Okay. And then I need my control here, which is distilled water. So you can either call it control or you could call it distilled water. I'm going to call it control. Okay. And I'm going to Control C, Control V on the one that's in the same direction. And then I'm just going to click inside. Okay. Double click, remember. And now I'm going to say control. All right. I'm going to drag it down. And then I'm going to say Control C, Control V twice, and drag it to the other ones. And now my Google drawing with all my labels on it is done. Okay. And the cool thing is that we can actually use this in both the presentation and the paper, because this helps people to see what it looks like. Okay. So I can also make this smaller. So see all this empty dead space? Okay, we can make that less important by going down here, and we can actually pull this up like this. And see how it kind of made it all bigger that way? Okay, so there's not as much wasted space. There is a little wasted space up here, okay, and I don't think there's anything I can do about that unless I move this all up, which I'm not interested in doing, okay? So now that that is saved, if you want to insert it, you just have to save it as an image first. So you go to File, Download As, and you choose PNG, okay? And that's basically a certain kind of image file. And then you can put it both into your paper and your presentation. And you are done.